Welcome, Scorpio, to my channel, Spiritual Rebirth Tarot. This is Madelyn, and I'm so glad to have you here for this special reading for October 4 through 10 for this week. And this is a general reading, Scorpio, and so we are looking at maybe it'll resonate with you, maybe it won't. But if it doesn't, check out some of the other videos for other of your signs, maybe your moon, rising, Venus signs. And take a look at the description as well. It may resonate with you. So if it does resonate, please like the video, share the video with others, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you can receive the other videos that come out every week. And comment below. I'd love to have a conversation going about the video and how it has resonated with people and been a blessing to them. So let's start with a two-card spread, which is the the path and the obstacle. And so we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck. It's a great animal deck that really brings a lot of character and beauty. So let's ask for divine guidance today. Okay, so I like to put a little bit of the Reiki energy in the deck. Or a lot, whatever you like. So put some Reiki energy in the deck that will kind of help us with the direction that we're going. So the first card is the path, the butterfly. So for this week, October 4 through 10, the path is butterfly and the obstacle is the tiger. And the underneath card, the kind of your higher self, your subconscious is the hummingbird. Okay, so let's start with the hummingbird. So this is a ruby-throated hummingbird, and we used to have those when I was growing up. I'd see a lot of them. We'd have the feeding places, stations for them in our yard. We also had a lot of flowers that would bring hummingbirds. Now that I live in New Mexico, we still have hummingbirds around us. I have a friend who really sees hummingbirds as some hummingbirds will come to her as her mother, her deceased mother. It definitely comes and hangs around her and gives her a message of, just hope and blessing. So birds can really bring a lot of messages to us. So I think the underlying message for you this week is that some messages will be coming to you, maybe from some past lives, past lovers, past relationships, people who have passed. In some way, these messages will be coming to you from the past. And they'll be kind of like shining into your life, like this card, the energy of this card. And it's not all the same colors, kind of like the colors of the rainbow. So all these different types of things will be coming into your life this weekend. So be ready to absorb and take it in. And sometimes a little extra time of meditation, thinking, contemplating can really help you to understand what's going on. So the hummingbird is asking you, spend that moment at each flower, and it's kind of the bird of mindfulness meditation. It goes to each flower and takes the energy from each flower. It doesn't it can't do more than one flower at a time. And so you in your life, you really can't multitask. You still are doing 2 things at once or 3 things at once, but you're still doing those 3 different things. So the point is, during your life, go ahead during this week, go ahead and focus on the task at hand, and don't be worrying about what's coming in the future or what has happened in the past. So watch for those messages and take time for mindfulness meditation. So the path that you'll be following this week is that of the butterfly. And so we can think about all these butterflies going through their migration, that they're happening probably right now as we're going into the fall season, and they want to get out of the areas that are getting cooler to the areas that will be warmer still for them to eat and do all the things that they do in different places at different times of the year. Now, not all butterflies migrate, but some do. And so this path may lead you to far places this week. And it may not be far places like physically. You may not be traveling to another country. I think right now we mostly only do that for very specific work activities with the whole restrictions with the virus. But maybe you'll go through leaps of faith, leaps of understanding in your mind. But the travel will be long. The road will be long this week. You'll have a long ways to go. But know that the beauty of life will be supporting you along the way. And also, I'm noticing the blue and the orange. So that's the throat chakra is the blue, and the orange is the sacral. So the creativity, relationships, sexuality, sensuality, combined with using your voice, saying things, speaking things, also listening is a part of communication. So all of that is part of the throat chakra. So communication in your relationships will help you go a long ways this week in your travel down the path of life. So if we look at the tiger, Scorpio, when we look at the tiger in your life, it kind of comes in as I'm guessing that maybe when the moon is at like a sliver, this which might be a little bit further on in the month, you'll start to be having some of these difficulties with this tiger. And I think in this case, the tiger looks like it's coming out of a fire zone. So right now, with all these fires going on, at least in the United States, in the past it was down in Australia, and now it's here in the United States. And I have friends who are in the process of evacuating or on the borders of evacuation areas. And it's definitely a real concern for, you think about, okay, most of our pictures are on our phones now. So many things are digital, we can just take with us. But yet, someone will have a book collection from their mom for, the last 60, 70 years, so are you going to move all of those if you are evacuated? So there's still so much loss that happens. So it's a grief, it's a loss. And so I'm thinking that maybe a part of the obstacle this week is going to be some kind of a grief or a loss in your life. You might be in the path of the fire. You might be in the path of a hurricane. You may be in the path of a tornado, or it might be a loved one that's in the path of the coronavirus. Or you may simply have, but it's not simply, but have other types of griefs that are not as overt to people. So, so many people, I ended up, my sister passed away at 18, I was 21 in a car accident, and people still, it's 27 years, now you know how old I am. It's been, 27 years, and you look back and you say, oh, that's terrible, I can't believe that you went through that, blah, blah, blah. But breaking my leg, you know, and going for through, you know, a year not being able to walk hardly at all, going through the pain of some of the cysts, or the current issues that I'm having with finances, and, you know, old businesses that are being shut down. Those kind of things can be just as painful and just as much of a grief process. So something will come, unfortunately, something will come to your life this week, very likely, not for all of you, but for a general sense, that will bring some form of heartache or sadness. And just remember that you're flying long and hard. You're depending on the communication with family and friends. And that communication with family and friends will kind of buoy you up and encourage you and keep you moving in this time. So some of you probably, if you're evacuating, you will go a long ways. So I hope that things are safe for you this week. So let's take a look at the butterfly and the tiger for the tarot. And this tarot deck that I'm using is the Native American deck. And so let's put some Reiki energy into there. All right. So let's pull some cards for the butterfly. Why is the butterfly here? What are we looking for? Okay, the first card that came out was the Death card. And a lot of times death has to do with a death to something and a rebirth into something else. Okay, now let's pull the cards for the tiger. We have the Death, the Hermit, so those are two major arcana, and the Three of Swords, which is the mourning, the heartache. So it's not very good to get. It's not very good to get death and mourning together. Okay, Scorpio, let's see about the tiger. The Star, the Corn Maiden, which is the High Priestess. The Star is a major arcana, 17. Corn Maiden is a 2. And then the Warrior of Pipes, which is the same as the Knight of Cups. And the Vision Quest, the Seven of Cups. Underneath is the World. So no matter what you face this week, know that you are supported. You know, and if you have a belief in God, God is there supporting you. You have a belief in the angels are there. All you have to do is ask. They're there to support you. No matter what you are facing this week, that support is there for you. So for some people, Scorpio, your card is the death card. So this death card could be in relation to you, and then the Hermit, a Virgo, and then this sense of mourning. So it could be you and this Virgo with some kind of a breakup, or some other form of grief through loss of life, or loss of property, all of those kind of things we were talking about. For very few people, it could be the death of someone older with how these cards look. It also can mean, this death card to me means a change from the old ways to the new ways, because it's the Native American and the buffalo that are dead inside of a structure made by the white man. And so the coming up of the new has been the death of the old. And so this card can also mean, I thought of something right when I said that, and that is that there are times when somebody older passes away, or even one of your pets passes away, to take that burden of death from someone else. So someone else would have died. Death came, someone would have died, and the older person said, take me. And so it might look to you like, why is this happening at this time in this way? But actually it saved you from a much greater pain, loss of a child, loss of, a very young person that still has a lot of life to give. And so this card, this mourning card, has to do with heartache. But in this deck, it also has to do with figuring out how to deal with your feelings. So as a water sign, Scorpio, you certainly are going to have a lot of feelings that you need to learn how to express. And we were talking about communication in relationships. So for some people this week, the mourning card is especially about learning how to communicate your feelings. They could be positive feelings, they could be negative feelings, happiness, sadness, any kind of feelings that you're having can be coming out, and you have to learn how to express them. So that's another meaning here. So I certainly wouldn't take a reading like this and go, oh my goodness, something bad's going to happen. Because for one thing, we're all individuals that still make our own choices and our own decisions. It's always tarot only shows us one possible outcome. It prepares us for some things in life. It's like a few weeks ago, my aunt passed away. She had COPD, she had dementia. There's a lot of good reasons, there's a lot of bad reasons for her to pass away, because she was certainly in a point where life was very, very tough for her. Within an hour or two before or during, I'm not sure exactly when she passed away, I found a dead bird in my room. And it was like a sign from her that I have gone, and saying goodbye. And so the point that I want to make here is that sometimes tarot will help us, make sure we are preparing a little for this, that we're saying nice things to the people that are around us. focusing our communication and our relationships. And even if nothing bad happens this whole week for anyone, if we have focused on every single night going to bed having said I love you to everyone that we know and that we care about, that will be a beautiful thing. So we can always take from things like this and take a strength and a courage. And so over the tiger, the star, which has a lot to do with like hope and healing, the corn maiden, which is the high priestess, it has to do with our intuition and insight. The warrior of pipes is coming in with a lot of charisma and passion, and the vision quest, spending time in a contemplation and meditation and seeking your animal guide. So maybe in this case your animal guide is a spider. So here we have this beautiful spider. It kind of reminds me of this beautiful tiger. And it's like, why would these even sort of be in the obstacle session of this week? And the spider is here on a web of stars. So when a spider weaves a web and it gets wet, and then the sun shines through it, it's every little point of dew looks like a sheet of stars that are lighting up in the sky. And so this crazy thing that's kind of in your way, it's kind of a mess, it's kind of a problem because you are walking and then it's in your face, or whatever, can also be one of the most beautiful and intricate and amazing things created in nature. And so I think that many times it's how we look at things in life that is really going to have an effect. And the same with the corn maiden. She's coming with a sense of beauty and power in her headgear, and at the same time she's working with one of the simplest things in the earth, the corn that we eat every day. And so the maiden, the star is the 17, which is the 8. So the 8, the path, the maiden, the connection, and then the warrior of pipes coming in with that sense of passion. And the 7 of cups, we're really looking for that opportunity, that growth, and all the things that we find in contemplation and meditation. So when things are really tough this week and you feel like there's nowhere to stand, go to the source of all that is. Go to that energy and find the peace that you're looking for. So thank you so much, Scorpio, for coming to this message. And I just pray for blessings and health and prosperity for you this week, and comfort and joy through it all. And as you walk forward into this week, I will have a extended, and there's a link below for that, and we will talk about the Aquarius, some Scorpio energy, which might be you or might be someone else, the Virgo energy, and so those three, as well as so those three energies, as well as, if we get time, the hummingbird and some fears and advice and hopes and things like that for this coming week. So come on over to the extended, please. Comment if anything resonates, or if any of this is what happens this week. I'd love to hear about it. subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification button. I'll continue to have readings come out once a week. I also do private readings if you have any specific concerns or needs or questions that you have. So I'll see you over at the extended, where we will continue the reading with some questions.